Hey everyone, Thyworm here, and today I wanted to talk about Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. I can recommend it to anyone. It also runs great on the Steam Deck, which is something that I played quite a bit. Just a great game within the Survivor genre. And today I'm just going to talk about it, tell you what it's all about, and then hopefully, you also get a chance to play it. Ladies and gents, I'm going to quickly describe what this game is about, because there's one specific point that I want to make in this review. What you do is you select a character. You have a few classes, you select a character, and that character then goes on a mining bug killing run. You select a character, you select a difficulty, you select a biome. There are 4 different characters, there are 3 different biomes, and there are 5 difficulty settings, and then your run basically starts. Your objective is to mine and make it through 5 different stages of a biome, and then you meet the final boss and you kill the final boss and you are out of there. That is basically the game. Of course, it has all the survivor elements in it. So you gain experience by collecting the experience blobs, and by leveling up you get stronger. You get new weapons, you upgrade weapons, you unlock a crazy amount of things. You unlock new classes, you unlock new biomes, you unlock new difficulties. This is what you do in most Survivor games. When it comes to the characters that you have 4 very distinct classes. There's the Scout, who is more of a nimble class. He's a bit faster and he can dodge attacks and then get bonuses when you do that. There's a Gunner, who is specialized in more heavy weaponry. This Gunner is primarily suitable for killing a bunch of enemies. There is a Driller, who is primarily suitable for mining stuff. And then there is an Engineer, who uses constructs, drones, robots, whatever, in order to both kill enemies while you can do something else, and that something else is typically mining. During your run there are 2 things you can do. You can either kill a lot of monsters or you go mining. If you have played any other Survivor game, whether it's Brotato, Halls of Torment, Vampire Survivors, Holocure, like you name it, they all follow the same sort of basic rules. You kill monsters, you collect the experience, you level up, you create a build by making certain choices, you get stronger over time, you kill more enemies, rinse and repeat till either you die or the timer runs out and you kill a final boss, typically. These games are ultimately about being strong enough to sort of withstand all the hordes of enemies that are coming towards you in order to withstand that pressure you need at some point. An insane build, and that is what you're working towards. And in that sense, most of your runs in other Survivor games are the same. The variety of most other Survivor games that at least I am familiar with doesn't lie in the levels or the design of the levels or that sort of thing. It lies in the builds that you're able to make while playing the game. That is why each run differs. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor takes a different approach, and I think it's a very interesting approach, because what they have done is they are giving you choices to make while you are inside a biome, and that choice is basically either you kill and focus on killing a bunch of bugs, which you can do, or you go and sort of leave the bugs be for the most part and instead focus a lot on mining, gathering materials, and that way upgrade your characters. Because if you gather a lot of materials, a lot of gold, a lot of nitra, you can use that stuff in between levels to get a bunch of upgrades. If you don't do that, you are basically forced to killing a bunch of bugs, because then the bugs give you experience and that experience gives you levels up, and a level up gives you an upgrade. It makes for a very interesting choice while you are first of all picking your character, because clearly the driller or the miner is much better at mining, and so taking a strategy where you mostly mine and gather precious materials, which then nets you income, which then makes you stronger, that is an approach to take. Or you take the gunner where you're not gonna do a whole lot of mining, you're just gonna be mowing down a bunch of bugs, and then that is your approach. And this is a very interesting way, I feel, in playing a survivor's game. It is not just about becoming a strong character anymore, you have multiple ways to achieve that goal. And besides, there are a bunch of materials hidden in the map everywhere, which gives you these permanent updates. And so you want to also grind for those. And so you're always faced with these decisions, like will I go make another round in mining, potentially corner myself, potentially get overwhelmed, make these enemies even stronger because they get much stronger every 30 seconds or so, or am I done with mining and killing over here and will I return to the pod? If you've completed your level's objectives, you have 30 seconds to get to the pod to begin with in order to be transported from one level to another. And so you're constantly faced with these choices. Will you mine or will you kill more enemies? Will you stay or will you slay more enemies? Will you just go and try to level up one more time before the pod leaves, or now try and run to the pod? That first decision might get you killed, and these are these constant sorts of things that are happening, which I really enjoyed. On top of that, the map is very small, adding to that pressure. You can't just like constantly move right basically for eternity. No, you can move right for maybe 30 seconds and then you're at the end of the map and you are being overwhelmed with bugs that you can or cannot kill. Very interesting situations. And as a result of all of this game is particularly difficult for a survivor game. Especially at the start, you will struggle to even make it to level 2 or 3 of the lowest difficulty because you just don't have anything. You have hardly any weapons, you haven't unlocked a single thing. So the first couple of hours are pretty brutal in my experience, and that is as a sort of an experienced survivor gamer, I would say. Very difficult game, but fair, I would say, fun too. And of course you're taking some time to figure out which choices make sense and when to take on what. That takes some time, that takes some adjustment, and that is all because this game throws much more choices at you than, you know, will you go crit this run, or will you go double damage, or will you go building tank, or, you know, what build will you make? It is about much more than what build will you make, which is not to say that the build making process is shallow or anything. There's a lot of different modifiers, there are a ton of different weapons that you can use. You can come up with incredibly wonky builds, as I think a good survivor game should. But on top of that, you have these additional consequences, these additional choices. And that is what I personally really enjoyed about this game. Yeah, ladies and gents, I can understand you may be a little bit tired of the survivor genre, but this one is a really new, fresh, interesting take, I think, on the genre. And yeah, definitely recommend it. It is very fleshed out for an early access game. It can really only get better from here. It's not expensive, as most of these survivor games are not expensive. I think it's like 8 or 9 euros or something. Like, that is a steal for what you're getting. So hey, if you're in the market for any survivor game and you're just interested in a new one, try it out. Great fun, can recommend. And that's all I have for you today. So thanks for watching, thanks for making it to the end, I always appreciate that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Love you all, and see you soon. Bye bye.